Okay, so it started. We are starting recording. It started already. Tomorrow it's going to be a little bit higher than today. So, and please try and to make sure that you understand the work of today before tomorrow, because what you understand today is going to have a very big impact on what is going to happen tomorrow. The reason is that they are linked together. So if you don't understand, we cannot start the second one unless we do the first one. And this first one is going to be the most important. You will learn all the things that you should learn before you go to the proper analysis of your hypothesis. And ladies and gentlemen, in case you have any question, something that you don't understand, you want me to go back and do and do it again, you have the right to do that. You can just send me to the chat box that please, I don't understand this one. Then I will go back if it warrants going back. Uh, the first day is going to be a kind of preliminaries. Let me say it again. A kind of preliminaries, what you know about the PLS, how the PLS works, and so on and so on. Next, let me share my slide so that you will start seeing what is it. Okay, and how it looks like. Okay, so please, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to start sharing. If there's any problem with regards to whether you cannot hear or you want to something else, please, I am available on chat box. Just chat it, I will see. So I am sharing my slide. Okay, I think this is the slide. Sure, okay. Okay, I hope everybody is seeing what I am sharing now. If yes, please can I see it on the chat box that is yes, you can see. Okay, thank you. Okay, please a minute. Let me see. I want to see this. Yeah, I want to see the chat box. Where's chat box? Okay. Okay, maybe okay. If you want to say anything, maybe you can unmute yourself and talk to me, because I cannot find the chat box any longer here because I share something on screen. Okay. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is our flyer, and we previously scheduled to do the analysis, the workshop on the 6th of March 2021. Unfortunately, due to some reasons, we decided to shift it on to 33rd to 3rd and 4th April 2021, and this workshop is going to take your time from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I hope you are all ready. And the ready I mean is that if you are ready, you should know something that I want to tell you. You should, that analysis is all about numbers. And what you should do is you should learn, or you should try and love these numbers. And if you do that, meaning that you are definitely going to understand every bit of what we are going to do. But by the time you hit the numbers, that means you hit me, you hit Smart PLS, and you hit the analysis. So I hope you will like the numbers that we are going to be talking about, and you will understand it very well. Okay. So this, in the outline of the workshop, we are going to, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to introduce the Smart PLS, the Smart PLSM and Smart PLS. Then the next, we are going to prepare for the installation. We will show you how you're going to download the software, how you're going to install it before we start. And I will make sure that you everybody install into in his system before we continue, because this one is going to be a kind of interactive. Sometime I will ask you if you want to share. You don't understand. You stuck somewhere. You will ask me, you want to know, then I will allow you to share and see where the problem lies. So please get ready to do that. Then the next thing that we're going to talk about how what is reflective, and what are formative, and how are they going to be treated, how different are they. Then uh, the next, we're going to bring the hands-on activity to start. Then after that, we're going to uh, assess the measurement model and structural model. Don't worry, all these are, if you are new to Smart PLS, these are terms that you it might confuse you, but not get confused. They are all simple when you understand them. Then there is the next, we're going to talk about mediation and moderation. Maybe tomorrow, higher order models. We talk about common variance, common method variance. Then we talk about Madias and normality test. The reason could be because maybe this is a new test that people are not doing it. They rely on only SPSS, but now there is a normality test in PLSM. Then we talk about important performance matrix analysis, and that's our last uh, analysis before we move to decide and extract and also report the results. I think that's it. So, uh, as far as I'm concerned, this is my philosophy, and this is what I believe in. That's me. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. God said, وَفَوْقَ كُلِّ ذِي عِلْمٍ عَلِيمٍ. That is, over every possessor of knowledge, there is one monowith. So I don't have a monopoly of knowledge. You might be better than me anyway. So I am not having all the knowledge. And in fact, uh, God is the all-knowing. Okay. Then in the day one, we are going to cover. Okay, all right. In the day one, we are going to cover these topics. The first one is measurement. That means when we say measurement, we're talking about the scales. The scales, when I say scale, I mean the scale that you are adopting or you adapting or you make by yourself before you go to data collection. The reason being, I added this one. It should not be part of it anyway, but I decided to put it because a lot of people are messing up there. When they come to this selection of measurement, trouble is happening there. So that is the reason why to uh, I decided to put it as number one. Then we talk about the fundamentals of PLSM and Smart PLS. Then after that, we go for preparation, that is software installation. We'll show you how you can install software. I will wait. I don't mind, because what's important is for you to understand. And you should note that if you are new to PLS, don't think or don't say that you want to take 100% of all what we're going to teach. It's not possible. I think the first time I attended my workshop on PLS was 2014. And I bet you I get only 5%. Out of all what they said, I couldn't get more than 5%. Gradually, the last one I attended last 2 months. I attended one workshop. One of the gurus in PLS, I attended the workshop. He was asking how many people got it 100%. I didn't say 100% because I know it's not up to 100%. There are new things that I don't know, so I kept quiet. But when it came down to 70, I say yes. But majority are below 30. So that is said, but I am not doing this to get you scared. No, you can. I don't know the level of your understanding. How maybe you have a sharp mind. Immediately I say A, you learn A to Z. Okay. The next is this day reflective and formative measures. We're going to talk about them. Then we use Smart PLS hands-on. Then we assess structural model and measurement model. Then we assess the structural model. Then we decide after structural model. We decide on the hypothesis you developed. If there's any question before we move in, ladies and gentlemen, you can ask me. Okay? Anybody who's question? Yeah, if you have question, you can unmute yourself and ask. No problem.
Doctor, I am Ramesh, one of your participants.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I just want to know, I don't have any basics in PLS and PLS, Smart PLS. So is that okay if I?
Please, can you speak louder? I cannot hear you.
No, I mean, I don't have any basics on Smart PLS. I only have basics on
Mhm.
the other qualitative analysis. So is that okay if I follow this
Yeah,
course?
very okay, very okay.
Okay, I'm just having some doubt. Is if you don't have any basics at all, so I doubt whether I can continue or not.
Yeah, so no, that one is not a problem.
Uh,
If you are new to it, if you are old to it, or you see what I know about what I understand about knowledge is that no knowledge is waste. If you know everything, you don't know anything. Okay, you only know part of what you know. Sometimes what by knowing you will learn something out of a little thing that you think uh, you know.
uh,
Okay, so
thank
please,
you,
no,
thank you.
no, no problem. I will try my best to see what I can do, inshallah.
Good morning, doctor.
Thank you.
Okay. Good morning, doctor.
Yes, my name is Odukoya. I just want to know for the software installation,
Mm.
are we expected, all participants expected to install PLS all over again? Or if you have a PLS already in your system, but the key is gone, you can simply put the key you have supplied into it and use it, or you will require us to install a completely for the purpose of this training.
Okay. So for the purpose of this training, if you have installed Smart PLS software, you don't need to uninstall and reinstall. Okay, you just the key will give you will show you where you can go to install that software, the keys. So
Thank
no
you
need,
very much.
I think no need for you to uninstall and reinstall. But there is exception. You we are into Smart PLS 3.3.
Yes.
Yeah,
3.3.
yes, and there are a lot of if you have your software back at 3, 4, 5 months, you are using Smart PLS 3.2.
Yes.
Okay, so
Correct.
but it works the same way. If you want to upgrade to Smart PLS 3, then you have to 3.3. You have to reinstall.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you like that. Any other question? So please, when you finish, please try and maybe mute yourself. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, let me just continue sharing. Okay. So we are moving to the first topic of the day is we are going to talk about the measurement. Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm your pardon. Okay. So in the measurement, there is what I call the good, the bad, and the ugly of measurement you are adopting. Because by experience, I see most of PhD students, for that matter, when they want to adapt items, they will go anywhere to find it, whether in the ocean, whether in space, anywhere. They don't give a damn to which one is the most important, which one is good for them, which one is should give them problem. And the consequences is that when they come for the analysis, that is where the problem starts. They will just the data will mess everybody up, and sometimes you cannot sleep. Okay, I am talking to you by experience. This is what happened to me before I started my data collection. I have very good items, so but I was compelled to change the items to other items. I didn't have option then to do that because I was not doing the PhD alone. So I took the advice. I went to the field. I collected data with that same new items. Unfortunately, it gave me a very tough headache, very tough problem. So that's the reason why whenever I want to conduct, I conducted a lot of workshop here in SBM. This pandemic, I did it face to face several times. So the first thing that I do is because I have the experience, I try to first of all tell you where can you get the items and how are you going to use it. I think that one could help. So, but every measurement has characteristics. A very good measurement should have what they call validity, should have reliability, should have ability to accurately predict or precisely predict. Then it should be simple and parsimonious. Then it should be practicable. Then it should be unidimensional. Okay, I think the one that has problem is the issue of unidimensionality. I don't mean that if you have items that has a construct that has dimension, you don't take it. No, I mean each dimension should have its own measure separately, and that measure should contain all the validity, reliability, accuracy, simplicity, and practicability. This, when you have all this, you now have a very good measure. But where can you get this measurement? That's another issue. Okay. Okay. So uh, the good measurement, the good scale, the good items you should use when you are doing your research, be it PhD thesis or article writing. You should concentrate on articles that are in good and high impact journals. Okay, when I say good and high impact journals, I mean a journal that you know that is a good journal. How do you know that? Is you will look at their database. In this case, the normal things we do in academics here, we think of Scopus and Web of Science, that's ORSI. So any paper, any items that is featured in that two database, we are 60 to 70% sure that they are well written and well reviewed. So in that case, when somebody develop items and published in that high impact journal, that one is very important. It's very good. You can adapt it. You can adopt it as well as you can put it to use. But unfortunately, a lot of us we don't follow that. We will just be looking at where the items are. I could remember the first time I came. I was meeting one of my friend that he was my senior anyway. Whenever I took item to him, he said, "Okay, this one cannot. Whenever this one can, this one cannot, this one cannot." Until I understood that only those in higher impact journals are the most important, and this is where you should concentrate on. Let's move to the bad. And when I say the bad measurement, I mean when you adapt items from Mickey Mouse journals. When I say Mickey Mouse journals, I am talking about a journal that you send your article today, tomorrow it get affected, next tomorrow it will be online. What crazy thing is that? So if you have this kind of journals, mostly paid, and you adapt your item there, I'm sorry, you will end up, I'm sorry, let me say this way, if you get it from there, a lot of use provider might not even accept it. If it, if the supervisor accept, another problem you may face is that when you come for your Viva or PD, it will definitely be rejected. And as then extent, if you uh, have items that are published in a book, meaning that they are just normal book somebody wrote his own and no research conducted, he just say this one, this one, this one. You just look at the lines in the paragraph, you pick them and say, okay, this one can measure my construct. You are very wrong, and you will not know that you are very wrong until when you come to analysis. Uh, Ordinarily, everybody that understand PLS can analyze the data, but the only problem is that we start from with the wrong step. We adapt items from wrong source. Then some people go to extent of going to maybe a report from United Nations, World Health Organization, UNISDA, US, whatever, all these organizations. You go, they are making items and they send it for example, most of them developing countries, they seek data from there. Then you adapt it as a PhD student. The problem is these people, they don't test it. They don't ascertain whether the items are reliable or not. Okay, they just give it to somebody, they sit down and write it. They don't pre-test it for you to know whether it possesses the adequate validity and reliability. So if I understand, or if you give me your work and I found out that you adapt items from Mickey Mouse Journal, I will directly tell you sorry, because you deserve to be to be sorry. Okay. Then what I talk about, what I consider the ugly is when you self-develop your items and you don't follow any procedure, any process, any way of making it reliable. You just go ahead and start using it. That is the dangerous academic plunder you plunder you do. Uh, Ordinarily, item development should be a PhD of itself. A lot of people that develop, I know I adapt one item called Entrepreneurial Career Success by Lau Atel. That Lau Atel, he did his PhD on only developing the items. He developed only the items and the PhD confirmed. So he published paper from that in high impact journal. I adapt the items. Okay. So if you want to do self items, you want to develop your own items, then you should make sure that if you have 3 years for your PhD, make sure you have plus uh, N or X. Okay, yeah, it could be.
Excuse me, Dr. Salisu. Somebody is asking what do you mean by item? You can just read
Oh,
this.
okay, okay. See, the reason why I don't see the chat box, that's why I didn't answer him. Okay, see, when you say items, I mean the questionnaire. I mean the questions you take from papers that you want to ask your respondents. That's what I mean by items. Yeah,
The questionnaire has question. So each question is the item. The
that
item
is,
is the item is referring to each question in the questionnaire.
yeah, that is correct. Absolutely correct.
Okay, Mr. Mason.
Okay, okay. So that's it. Okay. So the next is in the internet. I have a friend of mine that the adapted items. He wrote a paper anyway, and one of in his statement of why he get the item, he said these items were adapted from internet. So when he showed to me, I laughed. I said, which internet? He said he just any website. He look at it. He Google it. He said the measurement of this. Somebody just put measurement and he just adapted. That is the ugliest thing that you can do as an academician when it comes to the issue of research. You're not doing anything then. You are just, I'm sorry. Okay. The next is newspaper. Somebody just make a statement, some statement and say this one, this one, this one. He outlined, you just decided, okay, this one can measure my construct. Let me just take it to my supervisor. If you are very unlucky, your supervisor also doesn't know or he allow you to go, then you just go ahead. And at the end, when you get problem, you will bear the consequences alone anyway. So the next is from unknown source. Okay, that's somebody that brought his work to me that he want to he need analysis. I say okay, I'll do analysis for you. So I normally what I do is I ask where do you get the items. So the guy just came. He said, okay, I just saw it's from somebody from a thesis. I said, okay, please, can I see the thesis? He said, okay, yes. He showed me the thesis. I went through the thesis. I found the items, but that same person, he didn't mention where he got the items. So I said, okay, so see, look at this one also. He didn't mention how he did it, how he did it, nobody knows. So this is, and I bet I'm telling you, one of the terrible data I analyze is that guy's data. Okay, so please, with this, I want to advise if you are at the stage of getting your items, try and get very good ones. Go to the article that has high impact, that are very good and high impact journals, mostly good ISI and Scopus. Get your items there, then you know that you are doing a very good research. So in this case, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any question, I want to entertain a question on this particular measurement issue. If anybody has question, please, I am waiting to hear from him. Okay. Any question?
Yeah, check the chat box. There are questions there.
Okay, so see, this my chat box. I don't know. Maybe I have to stop sharing before I see the chat box. I don't know. Let me see. Okay.
Somebody is asking, sir.
Okay, wait. I'm coming. Let me stop sharing so that I can see the chat box because I cannot see. Okay. All right. So now I can see. Okay, respected doctor, regarding to measurement, or if we cannot get good items on some good articles, however, we get items from some books. Is it possible to use it or not? My advice is You can use it, but in maybe in UM. Yeah, maybe in UM. If you are doing your research in one of the research institutions, research universities like USM, don't try that one. Don't try it. Okay. So, and if you, why should you go on to do a research that on a construct that has no scale, that has no measurement? Don't do that. If your construct doesn't have items, I suggest drop that I construct. Get the one that you can measure. In the see, how do you operationalize your items, your construct? You are operationalizing construct based on what are you going to measure? How are you going to measure this particular construct? So this my advice to you, sir, is that if you adapt iPhone from books, uh, 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 okay, for PhD purpose, maybe it could be because a PhD is a learning process. You can scale through, but don't write it in the paper. If you want Q1, Q2, Q3, don't try sending it. Otherwise, you will have a dex reduction if you know what it is. Thank you so much. So I am going back to okay. Any other person? Okay. I just screen so that the person can see you clearly. Okay. Okay. Now I hope I am apparently visible. Then okay. Somebody say okay. This one answer this one already. Okay. Yes. 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 You require another smart PLS. Oh, okay. Okay. This one done. Okay. So please, maybe in the next 5 minutes, I'll go back to the chat. Okay, I will continue sharing my shares. Okay. Okay, so this is, I hope everybody is seeing again. This is where we come to the end of the first topic of today, that is the measurement. Okay, then we are going proper to the Smart PLS, PLSM and Smart PLS software. By introduction, PLSM is a non-parametric multivariate approach based on iterative OLS regression to estimate model with latent variable and their direct relationship. The primary goal of PLSM is to estimate the latent variables so that maximize the explained variance of the endogenous variable, endogenous latent construct in the parts model. What we're saying here is that when we say maximize the explained variance, we are talking about the R square. We want to maximize our prediction, how our construct predict, how our IVs predict our DV, or how our exogenous variable predict our endogenous variable. So we want to maximize that. This is what the PLS is doing. So there's a lot of reason why we choose this PLSM. Okay. There are two. Okay, I should have shared the first slide before, second slide before this one. You should know that there is two SEM we have. There's structural equation modeling has two parts. There's partially square structural equation modeling, that is PLSM. They call it variance-based SEM. Then there is another one that's called CVSEM. It's the first one anyway. CVSEM is the first one. It's called covariance based structural equation modeling. So, but this one, when you are choosing for PLSM, you should know that you are using a composite model, and the characteristics of composite model is that the data, non-normality of the data is not a problem. Small sample size is not a problem. When you have formatting indicator, we will talk about it later. You don't have problem. When you model is very complex, then you go for PLSM. These are some of the reasons that we go for PLSM. Okay. The next is we talk about the fundamentals. One of the fundamentals I told you is the issue of covariance based and variance based. Covariance based is called common factor model, while variance based is called composite modeling. When we say latent variable and observed variable, you should know that latent variable is your construct. When we say, okay, for example, satisfaction is a construct, but you cannot measure construct satisfaction directly. So we now consider a latent variable as unobserved variable. You cannot observe satisfaction unless you test it. How are you going to test it? You use observed variable. The observed variable are your items, are your question that you ask about the satisfaction, about your construct. These are called observed variable. Then in the course of our discussion, I haven't even started saying it, there are two variables that's called observed or exogenous and endogenous variable. In the due course, you will understand it, but I want to say here is that what I would say here is that exogenous variable is means directly, let me say it this way, your IV. Endogenous variable is talking about your DV and your mediator. You will understand this in due course. Then we talk about measurement model and structural model. All this is there down, so we'll talk about it. In inner model and structural model, all these are some of the things that you find frequently when you are talking about PLSM. That's what they call loadings and weights. All these, you will know it in the due course as soon as possible anyway. So now we talk, when you look at it up, we talk about CBSEM and BVSEM, sorry. These are some of the differences. So when your research goal is to predict the key target construct or identify key drivers construct, or if the research is exploratory, that is, or an extension of an existing theory, then you use PLSM. But if you have the goal of testing the theory or confirming the theory, or you have the option or you have the goal of comparing the 2 or 3 conflicting theories, then it's better if you go for CBSEM. We will show you the software that can analyze these two different set of PLSM. Then in the measurement model and structural model, if you are using formative construct, I said you use PLSM because in CBSEM, you cannot analyze formative construct in CBSEM. Then they say if the error term require additional specifications such as covariation, for example, you need some items that you want to see their relationship, the items, okay, you want to covary, then you need CBSEM. Then what type of data you have determine also what you're going to use. If your data cannot meet exactly the minimum sample size and normality assumption, then go for PLSM, the better. If your data meet exactly, your data is normal, okay, your sample size is very enough, then you should go for CBSEM. Then at the end, if you need to use latent variable score in the subsequent analysis, you show you what is latent variable scores, you use PLSM. If you want to use a global goodness of fit, that one I will show you also, you go for CBSEM. Okay, these are some of the softwares that analyze different SEM be it PLS or CVSM. In the variance-based PLSM, some of them are Smart PLS, what PLS, as you can see, PLS GUI, sorry, Ademco, XL Start, then GESCA. All these are meant to analyze data that is variance based. Okay, I, I know one of the top one variance based software is Smart PLS now. Then recently also what PLS come into being, and a lot of people are making use of it. I use both, and I found it very good. Also, Ademco also is a good software. I use it once, and it's also very good software. So in this case, we are sticking ourselves to only one. If you want to learn more, maybe in the future workshop, you can see many of them. That was the time I introduced PLS to my participants sometimes some 2 years ago. Then if then if you're using covariance based SEM,
Excuse me, Dr. Salisu, somebody is asking about what does it mean by latent variables?
Yeah, that's what please. Okay, I will talk about it when okay. Maybe let me go back and see. Okay, I told you latent variable is your construct. For example, if you have satisfaction, you have performance, you have cultural intelligence, all these are called latent variables. Okay, so but the issue is that you cannot measure this latent variable unless you have items. Okay, these items are called observed variable. In this term, latent variable are unobserved variables, while your items that you ask your correspondents are called observed variable that are used to measure the latent variable construct. I don't know if I answered the question correctly. Okay. So in the covariance-based SEM, some of the software that you use, they go EQS, Amos, SPATS, Lizrel, M+, Loven, and Onyx. And one of the major software now that are in trending is M+, and Amos. I use M+. Okay, it's very good. That's a very good software because it's very interesting. Only that it is syntax. You have to write, you have to type, you have to program before it goes there, give you the required result. That's the only problem. But it looks nice, very good. Amos also okay. When I started, I did how many workshops? Almost 3 or 4 workshops on Amos. But because of its complexity, I dump it to go for Smart PLS. Okay. Okay, so now people are saying Smart PLS and PLS same. But what's the difference? When we say Smart PLS, we are talking about just like a very good example. When you enter a forest, you will see a lot of trees. Maybe in a forest, you have more than 1,000 trees. So just consider PLSM as the forest. Then if PLSM is a forest, then Smart PLS is just a tree in that forest. I don't know if this is clearly understood. What I say is that PLSM is just part of Smart PLS is just part of PLSM. It's just a process of analyzing data in PLSM. Okay. Up to this point, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you have any issue here. These are some of the things that you should know prior to the next step. If there's any question, please, I would like to attend and entertain some of them. And then let me go back to chat box. If you have, please try and talk to me. Let me stop sharing for now and look at the chat box. Okay. If anybody has question, please.
Yeah, good morning, doctor.
Yeah, doctor, good morning.
Doctor, recently one of my friends, she went to the Viva and she used PLS, but
Mm,
the examiner was from somewhere else university, and she was expert of MOS,
mm,
and she was having a strong reservation regarding PLS.
okay.
She simply came up with the question like to the candidate, why you did not choose EMOS and why did you work with PLS.
Okay.
The reasons which you have mentioned earlier in your presentation, she almost mentioned the all,
Okay.
but the examiner was really not satisfied with the answer, so
Mm,
she came up with another question which also blow up my mind. That is, when we do the factor loading, okay, so there are some threshold values, and if the cronback or composite liability is below the cutoff value, so you delete the item or you delete that questionnaire from your model
mm,
to make them balance or
mm,
to make them achieve the proper threshold value.
mm,
So the examiner asked, what is the credibility of PLS if you can set your model by your wish or by your will? So if there are 7 to 8 items which has been already used because you are adapting, as you mentioned, and you recommend us to go for the higher impact journals to take out the um, items, to pick the items for your own study. So if you can set the items according to your will and wish, the way you want to work with PLS, so where is the credibility of PLS?
okay.
So she said, as compared to MOS, they can't do that in MOS. Being a PLS student, I really don't know how to work with MOS, or whether she was really cannot do that in MOS. So I really need your opinion on it. How would
Yeah.
you answer this question?
See, the issue is uh, there's what you call, you can differentiate between typewriter and computer, right?
Okay, got it.
Yeah, yeah. So before, when when computer was introduced, those who the company of typewriter decided to tell them that, please, this one cannot. We have to go and continue using our own way of doing our business. Okay, another example is that when a computer was introduced, a lot of companies or banks decided not to use it. Do you understand? Isn't
Yeah, yeah, I got it.
it's not because that computer is the best, no, it's because we are used to that. You understand? So
Yeah,
maybe he doesn't go deep into PLSM and understand it. Okay, there's a lot of people. Even let me tell you, you may be hearing the name hair. The first time when before he started to be the PLS guru, uh, he had this notion, but later he decided, he understood that PLSM is the best. Maybe what you should advise him is that maybe, he is a core CB same advocate. So in that case, maybe you have to advise him proper, because world is changing. World is really changing. When you say you have to stick to a kind of one software, okay, let me tell you, uh, the first person that introduced structural equation modeling is one person called Hermann Wald, a German scientist. Okay. After that, he had two students. One of them is called Lo Mola, and the other one is called Joris Koch. So uh, Joris Koch started developing CVSM while Lo Mola is working on PLSM. Okay, and Hammerwall is also in favor of Lo Mola, but because Jaros Cog is a very naughty student, he went ahead and continued doing it. That's how it begins. Okay, so a lot of people go in favor of Joris Cog, while some go in favor of Lomola. So here I want to say the student should maybe make him understand that time has come when a lot of people are using it. And then let me tell you, before you see one one article using a CB you will see more than 10 using SPLS same.
Excuse me, Dr. Salisu.
Yes.
One participant asked
Yeah. I
saying
can
hi.
see. I can see when I finish.
Can you add?
Yeah. So that is it. So the idea is that he is a co-CB same guy, and if he insisted that she should go for that, then she should go. But the only problem, if she does the assumption she has, maybe she has formative construct. So if she or the candidate has formative construct, what can you do? She cannot in any way go for CBSM.
I should add it because the Viva has happened. So during the conversation when examiner was grilling the student, so the supervisor, he intervened and he said that the construct was formative. That's why they decided it's not the personal will. So yeah, the student, she actually gave all the justification we just have you just have told. But yes, sometimes someone is really into one software and he wants the whole world to use that software.
So
So
you
that
see,
was the
that
end,
is
how
it.
the supervisor tackled, so that's why we
Okay.
really need a supervisor to be aligned with us. Thank you, Dr. Salisa. Thank you so much.
That's great. Okay, so the next is somebody is asking, can a mediator be treated as both exogenous and not? Yes, a mediator is a special form of endogenous variable, and when you are talking about, you just take it as endogenous. But when we say endogenous, we are talking, okay, we are coming to that, I think. But when you talk about exogenous, you are talking about any construct that has arrow that goes out of it is exogenous construct. Any construct that has an arrow that goes into it is what is endogenous construct. I don't know if you understand, sir. Yes, so I think endogenous mediator can be endogenous as well as exogenous. Okay, any other question? This one's very hot. Okay, if no question, we will move further and see what we can do again. Okay, so I think Dr. Mesun, do you have any question? Ramaj, Muhammad Shakir. If you don't have any question, please.
No, everything is
Please,
fine.
can you,
Thank you very much.
Okay, that's
please,
great.
can you add Jafar? I think he left mistakenly. He wants to be re-added.
What?
One participant uh, left mistakenly and he wants to be re-added. You need to re-add him.
Yeah, but he didn't ask for adding. if he asks, then I will see here. I didn't see any. He didn't enter, so I didn't see it here.
Okay.
If you're talking about Muhammad Shakir is already in, then Ahmad Shukri also is already in. So I don't know. He has not yet.
Yeah, Jafar is joining through Smart TV. So how to solve this?
Smart TV.
Yeah.
I don't know actually how because I've never used it. All I know that if he joined, he used the what we sent to him, then
Mm.
we can see that he joined. Then I will accept him. So, but in this case, nobody is asking to be in, so I cannot see him. Maybe he will go back to
Well, he joined before,
his laptop.
but he joined before and he went out and to solve some issues, only to come back and he cannot join again. I don't know why.
Okay, so maybe if he comes back, he will. Since he joined before, it's okay. Can do that. Okay, so the next we are going to, if there is no question, maybe we go further to talk about the next slide. Okay, so the next slide I'm going to start sharing. Okay. Okay, the next is software installation. Okay, yeah. We are going to start installation installing the software. The first thing that we do is I want everybody to go to click this link smartpls.com. Then when you click it, uh, immediately you click, it will take you to Smart PLS and it will ask you to download. Then when you go to download, this is how you do it. You choose the software according to your specification. If you are using Mac version, Mac OS, then you download the DMG installer. If you're using a Windows, you install either 64 or 32-bit. And what is it? What if you want to know what type of system you have? You should consider going something like this. You right click on the window, then you go to properties to know which operating system are you operating. Are you operating are you operating 32-bit or are you operating 64-bit? That is how you do it. Okay. I don't know if there's any problem with this knowing your version. Please, you can talk to me. I will explain. Okay. Okay. So if you download, what you should see is the download will immediately you click download, it start automatically. Then after the download is complete, then click the installer. That's down, you click, then it will ask you to install. Then after you install, if you are new user, you've never used it before, they will give you option to go for 30 days free trial. And in this case, you have to send your email to them. Then they will send you the free trial code into your email. Then you copy and paste into your Smart PLS software. Then it will start working. When that is done, then you will have 30 days free use. After 30 days, then you have to start using the key we provided to you. But if you already have if you have already installed the software previously, you don't need to reinstall, you don't need to re-download. All you need to do is you should you should just copy and paste the in your Smart PLS software. Then it will automatically pick and tell you that you have 62 days to use the software. And This is the version, the new version we have. Pardon, let me show. Okay. Before, there are Smart PLS version 2. And then after PLS version 2, which is free up to now, if you want to use it, it's Smart PLS 2 is free. It's free only that the stuff updates, but it's free. If you want to use it, it's free for life. Only that even article stuff using it. If you use it and send it to article, they will tell you to go for Smart PLS 3 because it's more robust. Then if you have Mac OS, as I told you, you download. You click the download DMG installer. Then if you have Windows 64 by 64, you download, you use this one as you download. But if you are looking for 32-bit, then there is one here. Please overload download Smart PLS down here. So it depends on what version of Windows you have, 64, 32. And this is how it is. In case you want to buy this Smart PLS software, is cost you 22 euro per month. That means if your software is expired and you want to buy a new one, you have to pay 22 euro. And when you say 22 euro, you're talking about something like 200 ringgit per month. Remember, it's 200 ringgit per month. Okay, for 2 months, sorry. For 2 months is 200 ringgit. Okay, so but here we are going to give you as a gift a free 2-month license, and that's it. So and if you want to buy, there are two options. If you are using it for commercial purpose, you pay double amount. If you are using if you are using it for academic purpose, you click for academic purpose. But the idea is, if you are using for academic purpose, they will ask you to send your identification that you are a student or a lecturer. Identification could be maybe ID card or something that will show that you are really a staff, a lecturer or a student. So if you do that, you will have 50% discount. But if you don't have all this, then you have to stop using the software anyway. Okay. So this is it. So please, we are going to download and install. Okay. So we are going to start here. We are going to start here. Okay. And stop sharing now and ask you to do that. Okay. Okay. Somebody has already provided the link, smartpls.com. Please, can you click? When you click on the Smart PLS, it will automatically open a browser for you, depending on which browser you use. So you click. When you get there, if there's any problem, let me know. When you click, the next thing that you see, okay, let me click. I don't want my system to get hooked. That's why I don't want to click. Okay, let me just try and click. If I click, that's what I see. Let me show you. I clicked already. So let me show you what, after clicking, this is what I see. Okay, it's coming. Okay. Okay, let me share what I see. Okay, when you click, this is what you see. Smart PLS is here. There is download now here. You click download here. That is when you click that link you were given in the chat box, then it will take you to here. Then you click download now. When you click download now, wait and see what will happen. Then it will come here and ask you. You see, it will ask you if you have Mac version, you download this one. If you have Windows version, you download this one. If you have 32-bit operating system, you download from down here. For example, in my own case, I have 64-bit operating system already, I know, and I click here, download installer. Okay, see, when I click download installer, it's automatically downloaded. I hope you can see what I am saying. So please, I want you to do this process now. But remember, if you've already installed, you don't need this one. I am doing it for those who have not yet installed the software. Okay, before then, let me ask, is there anybody who has not yet installed the software? If there is, let me know from in the box. Anybody?
Hello.
Yes, doctor.
I'm having problem doing this installation. You
Mm.
said we should click on this link.
Yeah, click on the link, then it will take you to here.
Take me to
Here. Oh, wait. Okay, let me share.
what is telling me is to pay rental or pricing option.
No. See, just download. Okay, are you saying, what are you telling me? Are you saying you want to download or you already have it?
You know, I told you I already have, but you now told me that what I have is not the current version.
Okay.
And that's why I'm going out the hub to download. I already have PLS in my system.
Okay, so it's okay. You download, you do this, you follow the same process. Okay.
I go to download, it's saying download latest version. Smart
Okay.
PLS 3.3.3.3.
That is great. Do that.
So I now say download installer.
Okay, yes.
My Windows is 64.
Okay, so you click 64, right?
Yes, save file.
Yes, you save. So is it okay?
I have saved, but I'm still on that window. It has not taken me anywhere.
Yeah. Where are you saving your download?
I picked it from where we have PLS. Start.
No, you don't understand. You should know where your download is going. If you download something, where is it normally going? In the download folder, in the my document folder, or where?
Okay, let me check that.
Yes, that's what you should. Okay. Any other person with the same problem?
Doctor, I have downloaded it, and then I can see the icon on my desktop. But when I click the icon, it seems to be that I cannot open anything.
So it's now asking for license key.
Okay, so is the license key given to you?
Okay.
You copy and paste it there.
Okay.
Okay, but are you sure it's asking the license key? Where is it asking the license key?
Professional license key.
Okay, so maybe they change the thing a bit. You do that. Okay.
Change license key. Register from. I'm not sure I'm in the right.
Yeah, please let me allow you. Can you share what you're doing? Let me give you the permission to share. Maybe I can see what you mean.
Host disable participant from sharing.
Okay, so now maybe try share. Let me see. Okay. So you go to download installer.
Download here.
No. Down. See down. Download.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Then you now save. Okay. So see, go up there. There is one arrow of there. Arrow. See arrow up there. Arrow down. Arrow by your right. Right on the screen at the top of the screen. The top of the screen right. The bar. The top of the screen at the right. There is arrow there. Can you see it?
I'm coming. Let me move the, because this thing has covered everything I have here. I don't see any arrow here.
No. There is, see, it's telling you, it's even telling you it's downloaded because I can see from here. After on the tax bar, tax bar of your,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
So now click there. Click there. So now,
I open.
okay, click open. Click.
Yeah. Okay.
Now you see, okay. Wait. Yeah. So
Preparing
now
to install.
that is what it should say you. Okay.
Welcome to Smart PLS 3. Set up with card.
Yeah, so it will start. That's it. So when it finishes, then you talk to me again. Is that okay?
Okay, sir. Ready to install?
Yeah. Okay. So please, you can stop sharing. Okay.
Okay.
If somebody want to share as well. Okay. So please, Ramash.
Yeah.
You want to say something?
So, so this I have installed, so I can see the icon on the desktop.
Okay. Yes. You okay? Meaning that if you see the icon on the text, so meaning that you've already installed the software.
But what is the problem is actually once it is installed, so I try to click on it to open it, but looks like there is nothing happened.
Yeah, but something should happen anyway.
Yeah, that's right. Something should happen, but nothing happened. So
Okay.
what I have done now is actually I uninstall the software. I reinstall the thing again.
Okay. So now it's installed, right?
I think it is installed.
This may take several minutes and it has not even started showing status.
Please, it depends on the laptop you have. It depends on the capacity of your system. But don't worry, it will not take that long time, okay?
Dr. Salis, the same
Yes.
thing is for me when I was trying to download it. I have this box appears that installing a Smart PLS 3. Please wait while the setup wizard installs. This may take several minutes, and it cannot even when I want to cancel it, it cannot be
No,
canceled.
why should you cancel? You just wait, it will go. It will go. We give you 5 minutes, it will go. Okay.
This would take more than 5 minutes.
That what it says.
Let me share it with you.
Okay, do that. Let me see.
How to share? Where is the icon to share?
Okay, please. You go to share down.
Okay, scroll down. Okay, share screen. Okay. Yeah. This, can you see it? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen. They say.
So this is what I have.
So it's meaning that, yeah, that is it. You just have to wait and be patient. Yeah, there's nothing we can do here. We just have to wait for them to do that.
Because it is a friend, our colleague Ramesh said that it is installed on the desktop. It doesn't install. It's in
No. It's only when the status go 100%,
Mhm.
then it will show on the desktop. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you wait and give you 5 minutes. If it doesn't work, then we know what to do. But it will work ordinarily.
I can have my colleagues in the IT department to help me in downloading it.
No. It's okay now. Just wait. It will. You've already downloaded, right?
Yeah, I already downloaded. I click on the download.
Now it's installing. Just give it time. It will go. It will. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it will. Just give it time. It will. Okay. So maybe you can stop sharing. Somebody wants to share. So, okay. Ahmad Shukri, are you okay? Mohammed Shakir, are you okay? Shakar, sorry. Okay. That's great. That's great. Okay, so in this case, maybe we can, Dr. Rashid, please can we have maybe give us 5 minutes break so that we those who have not yet installed, they can finish installing. It's okay. So please. Okay, so please, we will be right back in the next 5 minutes, maybe and 10:30, 10:38. We'll be right back and continue from our stuff. But please make sure that you wait and until it's fully installed. Then the next will show you how you can put the the license, how you can activate. Yeah, all this need to be done when you have internet. Yes.
Alice, can I share my screen?
What?
Can I share my screen? So there is
Yeah.
a
Please
problem.
do that. Okay, I can see your screen, Doctor. Yes.
Now it is installing.
So, but it's still downloading. It's not finished.
Yeah, it is still downloading.
Hmm.
Just now I could see this icon on my desktop.
Why is the icon in the desktop? Do you have this icon?
Yeah, I had this now.
Okay, but
I had. Then after that, I tried to click on it. It doesn't work.
you deleted it or what?
Okay.
Did you deleted it or what?
Now I have uninstalled it. I deleted it.
Okay,
Then I
so
reinstalled. So now it's reinstalling.
okay, so now you check. Let me see the level of downloading. Is it okay? Is it fully downloaded or what? Okay, it's
Okay,
done.
yeah.
Done. Okay, you run. Let me
So
see.
I run.
Okay, it's next. Okay.
So I have this now.
Yeah, just okay. So meaning that you okay, put modify. Yeah,
Okay.
modify. Then you go next. Okay. So install. Okay.
Install.
So meaning that okay. So it's installing now. Okay. So it's finished. Okay. Now you say finish. Now okay. The next is maybe you go back to your desktop and see it should be there.
If it is not there,
it's not there, then you find it in the programs, but
Oh,
it should be there.
okay.
It should be there.
So can I minimize and then see?
Yeah. Do that. Okay, so it's not here. I cannot see it. I don't know.
Maybe try to refresh or something.
Yeah, no, not necessarily. Okay, try refreshing. Let's see. Yes. Okay, so but it hasn't come. Please, no.
Yeah.
See, it's okay. Maybe your okay. Yeah.
It's
Write,
also not here.
write Smart PLS down. Right, just write Smart PLS Smart. You see,
So it's there.
you got it
Yeah.
up there. Yes. Dr. Adekoya, what happened?
Well, it has finished installing, but I'm now looking for the icon because I told you I have a Smart PLS before. So I don't know whether I expect to have a new one. I don't expect
So let
that.
me try to
Please.
try to click the one. Okay.
You see, you will see it on the desktop already.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I already have one before. I'm seeing that one. I'm looking for a new one that I've just installed.
No. Please, you don't see the new one. That one that you have
So let me try tekan tengok.
is replaced.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's replaced.
Try klik dekat Smart PLS tu.
So it has replaced the one I have before.
Correct.
I think you have to double click.
Yeah, just double click and no. You wait, doctor. This Smart PLS, it takes time before it comes. Maybe sometime you have to wait until after 1 minute.
Okay.
Yeah, you just be patient. It will come.
Okay.
Since you've already installed it, Doctor.
Now,
any progress?
I'm having a problem occur. License has expired. Please purchase.
Congratulations for the expiry of your license. Okay, now you have a new license, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that is when you're going to put the license. Okay, I will show you how you put the license, but just give me 1 minute.
Okay, sir. So I stand on that something.
Just don't do anything again. Just stay how it is. Yeah, I will ask you to share it. I will show you how.
Okay.
Okay.
So I wait, doctor.
Yes, I can hear you. I can still see that nothing has come out. Please wait. It will come. Don't just continue doing it. Just wait. It will come.
Okay.
In as long as it finishes installing, I don't see any reason why it should not come.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So the next, Dr. Mesoon, any progress? Okay, maybe she's not come. So of course. Okay. So please, you wait. Just wait. Okay, Dr. Adekoya, please can you maybe you share your own.
No, I stopped.
Yeah, stop sharing, and for now, wait for it.
Right. Thank you.
Are you?
I'm coming, sir.
Okay. Okay. So now, doctor, go to change license.
Okay.
Yeah. Go to all features, enter professional.
All features, enter license.
Yes.
There are two. We have one green, and we have another one blue.
That one you click. No. That's the middle one.
The middle one. Thank you.
Okay. So you copy that keys we give you. You paste it there. License key. Just paste it.
Okay. I want to check. I want to go for that one now. Let me go for the license key you gave me.
Go and copy it and paste it there.
Okay, I have to bring my this thing here. I have to bring my
No, if you can go even chat box. I saw somebody, the admin pasted it on chat box. Maybe you can go there.
Thank you. I'm just not trying to get the key.
Okay.
Can I copy it
Just yeah, don't change anything. Just copy paste.
okay, okay, I will come back to you, sir. I need to put my WhatsApp on the system
No,
so that I
don't.
can
No necessary. See, there is one in. Can you see the chat box?
tap chat box.
Yeah, in the chat box. Let me send it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, I send you. I send it through the chat box. Check it.
Okay, sir.
Have you seen it?
Mr. Rikoya, yeah, I already put in the chat box.
Okay, okay.
I just copy all.
Okay,
Don't
no
miss
problem.
don't miss any letter.
Thank you, I'm coming. I need to change my view. It's wrong now.
Okay.
And
now,
then I press change the
no, no,
license.
no, 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 no. Don't spray. Continue.
Continue, okay.
Yeah.
Requesting license from licensing server.
What do you see?
License is valid.
Congratulations.
Licensing expires in 62 days.
Congratulations. So now you can start your software.
Thank you.
That's great. That's great. That's great. Okay. So please, you can stop sharing. Please, maybe we still go for that break. I want to get water there.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, please, we come back at exactly 10:50, 10 minutes to 11.
Okay, sir.
Yes, thank you so much. Okay, please.
Ó ti late, mo ti ṣe nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ ṣe, mo fẹ́ béèrè question. Mo fẹ́ béèrè question lórí installation yẹn ní because mo get it tẹ́lẹ̀, but I have to now. God bless you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, uh, we're back. The break is over, I think. So yeah, we are going to continue. Dr. Amaj, any progress?
Okay, doctor, I think I successfully installed, and then I think I can open the Smart
Okay,
PLS.
so it has opened, right? Okay.
Yes, yes. I have to
That's-
key in
So
the
that's
code,
okay.
and then I have, I can access.
Okay, okay. Have you followed the process and install and put the keys? That's key?
Yeah. Done that.
Done.
Done
Okay,
that.
okay. That's key. That's great.
Thank you, doctor.
Okay, that's good. That's great. Dr. Mason? Okay. So please, maybe we can move further because it's already uh, installed. So I want to share my view now so that somebody has just joined. I maybe wait and see if he joined from using his phone, I think. Okay, he's trying to connect. Okay, so I am going to start sharing the next slide and what it contains. So okay, the next topic we are going to work and discuss on is wait. Okay, so we install the software. We show you how you buy. Okay, the first time you open, you double click this icon at the right top corner. Your own is somewhere on your desktop. Then when you double click it, you wait for a while, maybe 2 minutes at most. Then you will see this environment. This is what is called Smart PLS environment. If you look at the left side for the start with, you will see a lot of icons. You will see a lot of toolbars, file, edit, view, teams, calculate, info, and language. Here, this is where you do most of the analysis anyway. Then, in the environment, there are three environments that is composed. The one is they call three environment that is different windows. The first one is Project Explorer. This is where you create your projects. Then there is indicator window. This is the indicator window. Here it shows no indicator to show, meaning that you have not uploaded any data, so there is no any indicator to show here. And this very large place, very big one, very large space where there's a Smart PLS environment, this is what is called model window. This is where you draw your model before you start running. Okay, so we are going further. After you open your system, your software, You double click the software. Software is okay now. The next is we are going to talk about some consideration that you should put into account before you decide to run your PLS analysis. Number one, we talk about, I don't know if everybody is in the house or there are some who are yet to be here, because we want to continue proper. I want to see, wait, let me stop sharing and see how many people are here. Okay, we are 11, 12 number. Okay, I think, okay, they are all there. It should be all here. Okay. 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 So there are two people that I have not seen. I don't know who has just joined. Maybe let me know who is he. Maybe it's the one I'm expecting to know. Maybe sorry, the one who joined through Oppo A92. We want to know, please. Can we know who you are? Sorry. Hello.
Is his mic open? Can he talk?
Okay. Okay. What's the name? Sorry. Okay. Maybe I cannot hear you, right? Okay. Okay. So it's great to have you here anyway. Yeah. Although you came late, a lot of things have gone anyway, but maybe when we get time, we can do it somehow in some reform for you to understand anyway. So, but in the meantime, we will continue from where we stopped. I am going to start. Okay, I have already started sharing. Okay, yeah. So we are going to talk about the key consideration that we should put into account if we want to run Smart PLS. Now we look at the sampling techniques. Sometimes we are looking at something like a wrong way of understanding the sampling techniques. Okay, we give too much consideration on sampling techniques that is not feasible. I will give you an example of what I mean by not feasible. When we say sampling technique, we are talking about either probability or non-probability sampling. When we talk about probability sampling, we are talking about something like stratified sampling, random sampling, cluster sampling. These are some of the sampling techniques that are considered probability. Okay. On the other side, there are those that are considered non-probabilities, and non-probabilities such as convenience sampling, snowball sampling, and so on. Quarter sampling also is part of non-probability sampling. But the idea is, which one is better? As a researcher that has published some article in the journals, or you have done your PhD, maybe I will ask, I throw this question to you: which technique do you think is better to go for between probability sampling and non-probability sampling? Please, I need your answer either in chat box or you can talk to me directly. Anybody whose idea?
To address the issue of bias, it is
Okay.
better to go for probability sampling so
That
that every participant has equal opportunity of being represented. So you remove bias.
Okay. So now you are pro probability sampling, right?
Probability sampling.
That is great. Okay, anybody again? Anybody with a contradicting idea? Okay, let me just go further. Dr. Adekoya, for your information, uh, let me share first. Okay. A lot of people are saying because you cannot generalize or there are some issues with non-probability sampling, that is why they are going for probability sampling. People like Dr. Adekoya, Odukoya. The problem is the sampling techniques, that is probability sampling technique, is not feasible. You will agree with me because if you talk about non-probability probability sampling, you are talking about you have a full knowledge of your respondents. When we say full knowledge, we are talking about you have their names. If they have you must have you get their numbers, you get their emails, you have their address, and so many things attached to their respondents. Before you said, okay, you are that's your population. Before you go for it, and in rare cases you get that. In rare cases you get complete sampling frame of all your respondents. So if you don't get it, meaning that probable sampling cannot you cannot do it. That is the rule. And another thing, supposing you choose your respondents based on sampling, probability sampling. For example, you choose simple random sampling. You selected 10 respondents, for example, and out of them, you go and to distribute your questionnaire. What if the respondent number 8 is not there? What can you do? Are you going to get another one again to give him, or you must give that person? If it's not there, then if you don't give it to that person, you violate the rule of probability sampling. And in our research, for example, you have how many people you said you give your questionnaire to. Some of them will say they send 500, they say 600. Are you sure you use probability sampling? You meet exactly the same people. That is why probability sampling is of great concern. Another thing is that if you are using probability sampling, take in the back of your mind is that if you say you want to give it to 100 people as your respondent, the rule is that you must give to all of them, and you must collect from all of them, meaning that you must have 100% response. How many people have done research and get 100% response? If you have 100% response and exactly the name of the person that you randomly select is the person that you give your questionnaire to, then you are lucky that you are doing probability sampling. But any short of this, you are no longer using non-probability sampling, maybe non-probability. I don't know if Dr. Adukoya is with me.
Sir, my issue, I quite understand because I'm talking to the experts. But the issue is that you have determined your population, you have your sample frame, and you have determined using all sorts of the sample size. Maybe you have opted for the highest. There are so many bases for determining sample size, and then you have determined your sample size. You are also aware of the literature in your area of study of what should be an average sampling size. the PLS system you are using is recommending 30. So if you have prepared questionnaire well above your sample size, what is wrong in now using probability sampling to determine those you want to serve the questionnaire? You have your population, you have your sample frame, you have determined the sample size, and then you want to administer questionnaire. Maybe the highest sample size you have is 400. You have even gone ahead to prepare 450 questionnaires, and you have given it to people randomly within your sample frame. What is wrong with that approach?
See,
Yeah.
okay. See, you still not get right. This, for example, 500 people you selected. I am saying if you have their names, complete names, okay, you are sure that you don't skip anybody. You say, okay, you choose at random, you choose 500 at random. Now, this 500, you all have their names and addresses. You have their how you contact them. Then you send this questionnaire to them. If you can be able to get this questionnaire returned back, it's okay. Probability sampling is complete. But in as long as there are some that you cannot get from them, then that one is a questionable probability sampling technique. Okay. By the way, if there's anybody that has any other contrary idea, you should say it. But by the next slide will tell you something very interesting about sampling technique. Okay. Let me go to the next. Okay. There is one paper written by Joe Rowley, 2014, designing and using research questionnaire. What I highlighted, let's read it and see. Probability sampling is viewed as ideal because a probabilistic sample is one that is representative of the population from which it is drawn, and therefore statistical generalization about the population can be made on the basis of the analysis of the sample data. This is correct about probability sampling. But this person went ahead and say, however, in reality, most social science research rely heavily on open non-probability sampling. First, researchers often do not have a clear view of the population to which they are seeking to generalize, and boundary regarding which might or might not be included in the population is vague. Secondly, it is often very difficult to compile a complete sampling frame. Okay, before the finally, let's talk about maybe you are working on SMEs. When you say sampling frame, you are talking about the sampling frame of your complete population. Okay, so if you're working on SMEs, you get the total number of all the SMEs in your country. For example, you say there are 5,000. If you're using simple random sampling, meaning that you have to get the names and the address and everything of that 5,000 businesses, do you think it's quite reasonable? Okay, if that should be the case, then you are able to get that sampling frame at that time. What do you think after today you collected, you have 5,000. The next day, another person will open business. You exclude him. That is another issue. So, meaning that that person that you exclude is not part of the sample. If it's not part of the sample, you are not fully you are not fully following the probability assumption. Then the person also went further to say, finally, even in the unlikely instance that a researcher does manage to gather the good sampling frame and apply probabilistic sampling, they are unlikely to achieve 100% response rate. Non-response rate is another source of potential bias. You understand? So in this case, this person and other emerging and contemporary scholars are arguing that non-probability sampling is most suitable in in social science research. I don't know if I am making a sense.
Doctor,
Yes.
the point you have just made, can it be addressed by a researcher first doing stratified sampling? You look at your population, you stratify and bring out all the basic components, size, location, everything. Then you now apply random sampling to get your sample.
Okay.
After stratifying, to take care of the bias of size, of complexity, of location, and all those things. You said SME. We take SMEs. Then we now look at Malaysia. Some are in Sarawak, some are in Kedah, some are in this. You stratify. You use turnover, you use size, you use everything, you stratify. Then you now apply simple random sampling to the stratified sample. You are still doing probability sampling. Will it address the issue you have raised?
See, what I'm saying, there are some points that maybe you fail to understand.
Yes,
The
sir.
first issue is that how sure are you that that sampling frame you have is complete?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's first one. The second one is that how sure are you that you can give it to 100 all the respondents that you choose in sample in your as your sample size? If you don't have this one, sorry, sampling probability sampling is not feasible. Okay. So please, I think that is okay. 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 Somebody is saying, in case, okay. Let me go. In my case, okay, who is that? Okay, I'm coming. Okay, from here, I said, sir, in my case, I'm using non-probability sampling. Is there any problem? May later get when I start my analysis. No problem. That's what we're trying to put across that pro non-probability sampling nowadays is more is far feasible than probability sampling. That's what I would say. I then say, sir, in my case, I'm using, okay, this is same question. Okay. So somebody is saying 100% response. I have never seen it. I have never seen it also. Believe you me, or maybe you have 10% response. Okay, maybe quali, you have 10 or 3% respondent. But if you are doing cross-sectional survey that you need at least 200 people, you is very unlikely, very unlikely to get 100% response. Very unlikely. Okay. All right. So let me continue sharing and see what the next issue. Okay. So this is all about probability and non-probability, and we have said we have done enough to make it clear. Thank you, Dr. Odukoya. You have said enough, and it's well understood anyway. Okay, the next is the issue of sample size. Okay, how many sample is enough? How many respondents is enough? You now look at the literature, what literature says about. If you're talking about probability sampling, maybe the proponent are saying you should go for Tracy and Morgan. But if you're using non-probability sampling, it's better you use new emerging software such as G-Power or Netcock 2017. So, and there's a lot of argument which one is better. One that is well known is when you use what's the name? When you use the software that is G-Power, you arrive at statistically, you will arrive at the minimum sample size you need to start your and to do your study. But mind you, if you are using already, you say you're using probability sampling, stick to Tracy and Morgan. It's an old idea, okay? Stick to it. Okay. But
Wow.
if you're using simple the new a new way, then you go for this new software. They call it a lot of them. Some of them said, okay, maybe I can tell you what they okay, wait.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Cohen and Cohen et al. will give
Yeah.
you higher sample size than Chrissy and Morgan. And when you want to generalize, you want to go for the result that has given you the highest possible sample size, despite what literature, what in your field is saying. You have a population, you have tested it, and you have applied about 4 or 5 sampling size. And Cohen will always give you something higher than Chrissy and Morgan. What will be justification for me to use
No.
Chrissy?
See, what you should do is you do PhD is all about justification, right? So if you have, you say now, and some of, especially PhD, justification that suits you. Okay, so if you have justification based on Cohen that suits you, just go for Cohen. No, everybody knows Cohen and leave it. But if you're writing paper, that's when you have to critically understand it. If you're writing to a high, you want to publish in a very good journal, then you have to talk. You have to think about what what to use. For example, some of them you might get rejected because you use Tracy and Morgan, and you tell them that you use non-probability sampling in your work. You use Tracy and Morgan, and you use in the Tracy and Morgan, you go for what's the name? That one is you may get totally just rejection.
Okay, sir.
Yes, so this
Thank you
sample,
very much, sir.
yeah, sample size. You go for sample size as a probability. You go for Christian and Morgan. If you're using non-probability, go for this software. Okay, there is even one person called okay, here Atel 2017. Yes, he proposed that sample size should be higher or greater than 200. Maybe you can take that one as a benchmark. So I think this one is understood. I'm trying to find something, but I cannot find it. Let me just continue from here. Then there is what is called pre-test and pilot test. If you have data, if you collected before you collect your data, sorry, you need what is called pre-test or pilot test. Advocates, people are saying it's better if you go for pre-test. Some other scholars are saying it's better if you go for pilot test. And if I want to advise, you go for both. The first one, you ask the respondent, you ask those in the field, those in the area, those who have the knowledge about what you are measuring, and ask their input, whether the questionnaire is good, how to improve it. Then you come down and send it for a pilot test. And the reason why we put this one to be part of it is that pre-test and pilot test gives a very promising results that will enhance your analytic ability or capability, sorry. Then the next is we talk about common method variance. When we say common method variance, we are talking about you collect data from one source, meaning that your respondents are only one group of people. Like, for example, SMEs, or you're looking at nurses in the hospital, one group. Doctors in the hospital, one group. Academics in the university, one group. So all these are one group. That's what they call common method. So if you have to make sure that you take note of this common method variance. Otherwise, it will affect your result when you are running your in Smart PLS. So there are so many ways you can do that. The first thing they said is that's what they call procedural approach. Then you ask the respondent, this is what you should do, no right and wrong answer. You can all that some sweet talk that you tell them that will make them answer it correctly. These are called procedural approach. Then there is uh, statistical approach. While when you collect the data, this is how you analyze to make sure that there is no common method variance. One of them is what they call Harman one-factor test, that you want to know whether one factor explain more than 50% of the variance. If you test it and find out that one factor explains 50% of the variance, meaning that your data has common method variance. Okay, that is what they call okay marker variable. Sometimes you add the one variable in your work in your data as a marker. Then you compare the marker with the original items. You see whether is the correlation is high, something like that. These are the way to control common method variance. Then in the analysis, there are items that are called reverse scored. Okay, for example, you ask you ask a question that you want to measure satisfaction, and in the satisfaction you say, I am satisfied with A. I am extremely satisfied with the hotel, for example. I am all these are questions that relates to hotel, for example. So in the process, you make items that one item that is negative. For example, you say, I am not happy with the employees in the hotel. So you see, satisfaction is a positive construct, but you added one negative question in the items. If you are doing analysis, you have to reverse code it because the respondent will choose one it will choose four okay one is four one five is high, then they will choose one and two one and two one and two, okay, but all the remaining they will choose four five four five four five. So meaning that you understand that they are understanding your question and they are answering it correctly. So in that case, you reverse code that items that is negative. You reverse code items from negative to positive when the construct is positive. You reverse code from positive to negative when you reverse code from positive to negative when the construct is negative. You reverse code from negative to positive when the construct is positive. Okay, this is another one. The next is the issue of EFA, CFA, or CCA. EFA is called exploratory factor analysis, and CFA is called confirmatory factor analysis. When you are using PLS, you are that's what's called confirmatory composite analysis, that is CCA. Okay, in the first instance, when you're using EFE, meaning you are exploring the items. You have items, you develop items, new items. You want to know whether these new items measure a particular construct. You don't know, you already have the items. Okay, you sit down, you use paper and pencil, you sit down, you write based on literature, based on your instinct and understanding. You write a lot of, for example, you write 12 items. Okay, you say this 12 items is measuring my construct, my variable. So now, because you don't know whether they work together or not, you go for EFA, exploratory factor analysis. So in in more to understand it well, when we say EFE, we mean we don't know whether these items form one dimension or it has more than one dimension. You don't know. It's only when you run the EFE that it will tell you, okay, according to your data, these items fall are grouped into three, or are grouped into four, or are grouped in one place. But if you adapt items, for example, you are measuring CQ for that is cultural intelligence. It has, for example, 4 dimensions, and you've already collected your data based on that 4 dimension. Those who did who did the measurement, they've already told you that these items are grouped into four. They are, oh, this construct has 4 dimensions. So if you are collecting data using that items, you don't need to go for EFA. You just directly go to CFA because you already know the component of that construct. The component of cultural intelligence 4. So since you already know that, what EFA is telling you is only that dimension. Because you already know it, you don't need to go for EFA. You just directly go to CFA. Then, then CCA is just a name, is a modified name of CFE. Because when you say CFE, you are talking about CB same as CFE. Okay, but when you come to PLSM, you do measurement model, you are doing what's called CCA, but it's just a name change, but it works the same way. Then we have then another consideration is missing value analysis. No data, you cannot collect data from 1,000 people or 500 people, and you said it's completely everybody complete every column. That one is purely questionable. I have a friend of mine, he graduated anyway. When he brought his data to me, I see the data is fully complete, no single column left. I asked him, how do you do that? This you are respondent there. Did you pay the money? So he started laughing. He said, "Oh no 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 no! How I did it was I put it by myself. When I see somebody they skip, I just use my instinct and put it. That is clearly wrong, and it affects the result. It affects his analysis. So I advise you should use a proper way of missing value analysis to analyze your missing value before you go into PLS. By the way, in PLS also, there is where you can tell the software that you have missing value, but you have to put it there that this is, you have to indicate in the data before taking it to PLS that this is a missing value. Then the PLS will treat it as missing value, or else you go for a software you go for test that is such as in SPSS, that's what they call a replacement with mean one, or case-wise deletion, or list case-wise deletion, or expectation maximization. I believe I attended one workshop. The facilitator is telling us that it's better if we use what they call expectation maximization. It's well suited in PLSM. It works with PLS well. So when you are doing your missing value analysis, if you use that one, you will have a better and good result. Then finally is that multivariate normality. Although by the word PLSM, you are already saying you don't have normal data. The more you talk about, you say, okay, I want to use Smart PLS. You are synonymously telling people that your data is not normal. But you don't know. You want to know whether your data is normal or is not normal. Because if you meet a reviewer that knows what is normality, and you tell them that your data is normal, okay, and you now say they deliberately decided not to go for CBSM, they will question you why your data is normal. Why don't you go for another software? Maybe your friend, Dr. Maybe she was asked this kind of question. Why you go for this software while you've already told me that the data is normal? Okay, so what I want to say here is that in PLS, whether the data is normal or is not normal, you can use it. But in other software like CBSM, like Amos, M+, Diesel, don't try because it's not going to work. You'd have to have a normal data. So most of the multivariate normality I do is the data is not normal. I have never tested data using multivariate normality and gives me the data is normal. Although I go to SPSS, I run what's the name? PP plot, skewness and cortices, distribution. All is saying the data is normal. But when you come to the new way of normality test, they call it Madia's normality test. Well, I will show you in due course. You will see the data is most of the data is not normal. So, and one of the justification, you now tell them that my data is not normal. Let me tell you, Dr. Emin, maybe your friend wrote in her preliminary analysis that her data is normal. So, and that is why that person hammers her well. I don't know. That's it. So these are the key consideration that we need to take into account if before we move or we go into analysis. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you understand me, and if you have any question, please, you are welcome.
Doctor.
Yes, doctor.
For pre-test and pilot tests, if you have adopted an instrument
yes,
that has been used from previous studies, especially if your research is a replication of a previous study, or where you are just filling some gaps by introducing new variable, either as mediator or moderator, into a previous study, and you are adopting instruments that have been used in those previous studies. Do you need a pilot test?
You need both.
Okay.
So, but see, in reality, you need it. But that one depends on what your supervisor says. Because I have seen somebody that his supervisor told him, don't go for pilot test. I have seen another person that says his supervisor told him that just do the pilot test, don't do pre-test. Okay, so but you follow your supervisor anyway. But in this sense,
my question is anchored on the fact that one of the objectives of this test is content validity.
Okay.
And you have an instrument that has been tested, that has delivered consistently in previous research, and you have adopted, not adapted it. If you have adapted, you might have introduced one or two things, but you have adopted an existing existing instrument. I'm saying that why do we need pilot test? But you have explained that it is needed.
Yeah,
So I will go and look at more information on that.
If you have justification that if you adopted items, you don't need pilot study, just skip it. It's okay. Is that okay?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, that's great, inshallah. So, any other question?
Doctor, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi.
Doctor, actually, I have one question.
Oh, yeah.
So far, I used the Mergen table to determine my sample size.
What, Madias?
I used
You use what?
I used the Morgan and Corrigan table to determine.
Okay, Crazy and Morgan.
Yes.
Okay.
To determine my sample size. So far, due to the COVID and the new challenges because of the COVID-19, I could not reach the number of my respondents.
Okay.
So in this case, I used the response rates. I checked my response rate. It was fine, acceptable. So in this case, maybe later on I will face any problem. Maybe the examiner, they will.
No, see, okay. In this case, you just tell them that you achieved the response rate. That's why we are telling you that probability sampling is not feasible. You understand?
Yeah,
so you cannot. You only have, maybe you have Crazy and Morgan tells you go for 367. But unfortunately, you are able to get only 160, and you are saying that you are using probability sampling.
True.
Yeah.
So
there's
no any problem.
Yeah, I think there should be any problem. You just tell them that this is a rate you get, the response rate, and it's okay by literature says if you get certain response is okay, you can run your analysis. So you just tell them that and forget.
All right, thank you so much.
Inshallah. Okay. So any other question?
Oh, the question you just answered. If the person is the student, the researcher is using PLS, can it also add that PLS recommends 30?
Recommend what?
30 respondents.
30 respondents.
Yes.
Who said PLS recommend 30?
I don't have the authority here now, but I think that's what I read, that the PLS says that if you have 30 respondents, you can generalize.
I don't have that idea.
Okay, sir. I will check, sir. I don't want to confuse the class. I'm trying to confirm the facts that I know, so that I dump what is not relevant.
Okay, but in ideal situation, sample should be sufficiently enough.
Yes, I know that.
Yes, okay. I ran two datas using one model using two data. One of them I put 484. The other I put 160, 170 or thereabout. The results are not the same. And what I'm telling you, not the result I'm talking about in terms of whether significant or not significant. No, we are talking about the preliminary result. We are talking about the reliability and validity. The validity increase with increase in sample size. You understand? So you should make sure that at least you have very substantial. That's why here at Teltros is saying you should have at least 200 to run in PLS. So that's why I'm asking. I don't know why you get that you're 30, because if you run in PLS, you run 30. The tendency is that you will delete a lot of items before you achieve AVE. In fact, if care is not taken, you will not achieve that AVE. So I don't know why.
I'm looking at usable rate. You know, your response rate, you have your response rate after administering questionnaire, then you allow for multivariate and univariate analysis and outliers, and then you have your usable rate. If your usable rate is above 30, that's what I mean, not
No, see, you are talking, yeah, we are all taking the same way. Usable rate is the one that you're going to use in your analysis, not.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so, but that 30 is just not enough. Yeah, okay, say it this way. That's why if you are running for, to determine the sample size, for the fun of it, just try and use a G power and see. Okay, maybe I will show you how you can use a G power.
I know I
It
have
will
a
be very
good knowledge
interesting.
of
Okay,
that.
yeah. So you will find out that if you have at least uh, two arrows that goes in a construct, still you cannot get less than 50. You understand? So in this case, I doubt if 30 can make any meaningful result as far as PLS is concerned. I don't know. I'm not sure anyway. I doubt.
Doctor,
Yes.
I just want to confirm that for this, the who they have less than 200, is it still possible to run the data via PLS?
You have what?
Less than 200.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I published one paper. I have 111 responses, but I told them that I use non-probability sampling anyway. So, and I told them that I use G power. So I found out that when I use G power, I should have only 77 as my sample size. So in this case, I use 111, and it was published a Q1.
Sir,
So yeah,
but in my case, my G power, it was less. I told you I could not reach the number of the respondents due to COVID. Due
no,
the,
see, you please try and differentiate between sample size and the response rate.
Mhm,
Yeah, the sample size and the response rate are 2 different.
mhm.
Okay, if you cannot achieve your full response rate while in the field, meaning that the response rate is lower than the sample size. Okay, so in this case, there are a lot of thresholds according to maybe go to what is the name of that lady? Not Bandura, the one who what's the name? What's the name? Sakaran. Okay, when you look at a Sakaran, no, that one she give you maybe 30% or something. I cannot remember, but she give the condition that if you have 30 or more than 30 response rate, you can go ahead and do it. So having 100 and less than 200 is not an issue.
I see.
It's not an issue, inshallah.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's great. Okay, so I think these are the consideration that you should take, that you should consider before you make you decided and you decide to analyze your data. Okay. So the next we go for what's the name? Next is okay. We've already done that one. So
Dr.
that
Saliso,
yes.
am I allowed to ask a question about normality test? Because I think my mind still requires a bit clarity on it. The thing is, okay, I really want to know the direction of someone's prayer, the one who is collecting data. What should he or she pray about the data? So she should pray about the data must be normal or abnormal while she is intended to use PLS. So I think okay, go ahead. Yes, I think I have put up my question. Like data should be normal or abnormal while we have the intention to use PLS. And how are we going to identify that the data is normal or abnormal?
See, okay, you don't control your respondent, right?
Yeah,
You
exactly. We cannot control
so
that.
if you cannot control, then you have to you put at the back of your mind is either your data will be normal or not no, or no, not normal. That's what you put at your back the back of your mind before you go to field. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
if you come back from the field, then it is now the time to know whether the data is not normal or normal by using
So what would be the time?
the software. Is there there? That's what I'm telling you. That's what they call Madia's normality. Maybe when we get time, we will try. We will do it. You will
Okay.
see how the
Okay.
Madia's
All right. All right.
test of normality works and why it is very important more than the other tests that you do in SPSS.
But I think you do agree that we still pray for the uncontrollable conditions in our life. So that is also related to this. The prayer is must, So we
Okay.
should pray,
So
whether the data is normal or abnormal.
no, are you praying the data to be normal or you pray for the data to be abnormal?
This is what I really want to know. What should I pray?
No,
The direction of my prayer.
you see, okay, maybe you put it.
What's that?
Okay, so see, you put your direction. You shouldn't have direction. Just become directionless if there's any question, any
All right. I got it.
anything like that. Yeah,
Thank you.
just blank your mind that whether your data is normal or is not going to be normal. You don't know until you test.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. So our next issue is uh, we are going to PLSM now, and according to literature, according to scholars of PLSM, PLSM is composed of two components. The first component is they call it building or testing of measurement model. Okay, let me call it this way. Measurement model and structural model are main component of PLSM. If you are doing analysis using PLSM, you should know that these are the two components that you will encounter, and it's not mutually exclusive. They are almost half, and they are in chronological order. You don't start with one and go to two. No, you don't start from two and go to one. You must do the one, then go to two. Meaning that you must, first of all, assess the measurement model. You must build and test measurement model before you go to building and testing structural model. The measurement model serves to create structural model. That's all we're talking about. So, and because measurement model is a requirement, I will show you what is measurement model in the next slides. The measurement model, if the measurement model is not okay, then there is no need for you to test to go for structural model. That means you must make sure that your measurement model is okay and good and clear before you go for a structural model. Accordingly, there are some scholars that made it clearly that categorically that if the outer models are unreliable, the inner model will be of little confidence. And another person said, it makes no sense at all to analyze the relationship among constructs if there is no sufficient evidence of their validity and reliability. In this case, what we're saying is that when you are doing measurement model, you are testing the validity and the reliability of your items. Is that understood? Yes. All right. Uh, the next, we now show you what is measurement model and what is structural model. Okay, as you can see from this diagram, uh, we have uh, 5 constructs, 6, Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4, Y5, Y6. And we have items, we have another group, X1, X2, X3, up to X12. Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4, Y5, Y6 are called latent variable, latent variable. They are called your construct. Do you understand? If, for example, you have one of your construct is performance, then is your latent variable. On the other side, x1, x2 to x12, these are called unobserved observed variable. Okay, this represent your items. This represent the items in your questionnaire. Represent the question you ask your respondent in the questionnaire. So you put them in form of x1, x2, x3. This is how it works in PLS modeling. So if you are testing the relationship between y1 and x1 and x2, you are doing measurement model. These are the two tests. You test the relationship between the items and their construct is called measurement model. In this case, x1 and x2 are measurement of y. x3 to x10 are measurement of y2. x11 to x12 are measurement of y3. While y4 are being measured by x13 to 19, y3 are being measured by x20 to 26, and finally y6 are being measured by x27 to x30. This is what it means. Y1, y2, y3, all of the y's are representing your construct in your model. And x1, x2, x3 are referring to your items in your questionnaire. So the relationship between your questionnaire items and your construct are called measurement model. So you first test measurement model and to confirm that there is high relationship between your items and your construct before you move to further analysis. Okay, the next is when you are sure that the measurement model is okay, then now you come and said, you look at the relationship between y1 and y4, y2 and y4, y3 and y4, the relationship between y. All these are called structural model, or they are called it inner model. Measurement model, outer model. Structural model, inner model. Very simple. Do you understand this diagram well, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, just tell me, chat box, yes, I will go ahead, continue. Good. Okay, the next is we're going to understand the difference between, oh, no. Okay. Okay, so after this one, then if you remember in the first few slides, we talk about something like reflective and formative measurement. So we are going to talk about this reflective and formative, then we call it a day for now until 2:30, something like that. Okay, or 2 o'clock. Okay, so next is this one. We want to understand our measurement. Okay, we have adapted items, or we adapt or we adopt, and as well, or we make the items ourselves, but we don't know, are these items making the construct or are the construct making the items? This is the issue of model specification. This is the issue of nature of the measurement. Is this reflective or formative? So there is one caution by Bandril et al. 2017. He said model misspecification, that's incorrect specified model, can lead to incorrect conclusion about structural relationship between theoretical construct. What it's saying is that if you have you have items and you wrongly said they are formative, although they are reflective, then it will affect your relationship. So you need to understand conceptually what it means and how can you identify if your items are reflective or formative. This is what we're going to do. So this in reflective model construct, we now talk about indicators. When we say indicators, we are talking about the items. When we say items, we say indicators, we mean the same. They are indicators, they are questionnaires or items, they are question you ask in your questionnaire. So in this case, we have two forms. You either have reflective items or formative. In reflective construct, we now say all items are caused by the latent construct, meaning that all your items of your construct, if you have a performance as your DB, for example, so the items, if they are reflective, meaning that this performance is causing your items. So in this case, the arrow that you draw will go from the items from the construct to the items. In this also, one of the things that you should know about reflective items is that they should be highly correlated. There should be high correlation. When we say high correlation is that they should look alike, to the extent that if a respondent will ask the question, will answer the question, you will think almost maybe they look similar. Okay, so it should be closer to each. They should be closer to each other. So if you have this kind of items, then you now think they are reflective items. Then, in this case, since they look alike somehow, maybe 70% look alike, deleting of one of the items will not change the meaning of the construct. I don't know if you understand. If you delete the item because they are already similar, they look more closer to each other. You put them because you want to test 100% of it. So, but you put more items and they look alike. So deleting one will not affect the meaning of that construct. Okay, so that's what we're looking about, the strongly correlation. There should be strongly correlation between the items. Then, when in literature, when you hear the word mod A in analysis, it's talking about reflective items. On the other hand, if you're talking about a formative construct, you're talking about indicator are causing the construct. We give you an example, you will understand it better. The indicators, that is the items, are the causes of the construct. In the previous one we're talking about, the construct is causing the items. Now the other way is that the items are now causing the construct. When the items cause the construct, meaning that you're talking about formative indicator. Then, so in this case, one of some of the features it should have is that they are not interchangeable. Okay, each aspect of it is measuring different things. So meaning that you don't, they are not, there is no correlation between them. They are different things, but they are measuring one, and you can use them together. But they are measuring only different part of the construct. So meaning that you deleting one items out of it can change the meaning of the construct. Okay, we will give you more example in the new course, inshallah. So meaning that there should be correlation between the items. And if you remove one item, meaning that you are changing the name of the construct, maybe you change it to something else, then it can only be used in PLSM. Okay, you cannot use, as we said earlier, that you cannot use formative items in Amos or in M plus or in Lavan, in Onyx. All this you cannot do it. Why? Because it's only PLSM that accepts formative items. Then in the literature, when you hear the word mode B in an analysis, just prepare your mind if they are talking about formative construct. Okay, and below here you will see the difference. You will see, okay, let me see, okay. You will see here that in a reflective model, indicator 1, 2, 3, the arrow are coming out from the construct to the indicator. And in the other one, the arrow are coming from indicator to the construct. This is the two different things. And you will understand and you agree with me that this concept, to form it this way is a nice way of understanding your items. Okay, we move to the next slide. Maybe when we finish, okay, we still, oh my God, we don't have time, okay, but we can, let's do it vividly. Okay, this is also the same way we're saying reflective items. This one is reflective items. Okay, in reflective items, if you look at the relationship between Y1 and this blue, yellow columns, they are your items. So the relationship between this one and this one are called loadings. But if it is formative items, the relationship between Y1 and the items is called weight. Okay, this is it. Okay. So now to have a clear understanding of what is reflective and formative, we now look at some three examples. You have a diet in your home, for those who are dieting. We consider here a diet as a reflective item, a construct. So if you want to tell your reader, you want to ask question about diet, you write 3 items. Now you say, I eat healthy food. I don't eat much junk food. I have a balanced diet. If you look at this question, three items, they are all talking about food. So, and if you look at them, your mind will tell you this one they look similar. Maybe if one can even serve. So, meaning that you are telling yourself that they are very close. If you eat healthy food, I think that means you have balanced diet. If you don't eat junk food, you are eating a very healthy food. So, meaning that they are highly correlated. They look somehow similar. So that is why they are called reflective. So meaning if you try to delete only one item out of it, you don't change the meaning because others are there. What is telling you, the data is telling you that that item is not enough to be with them. So you delete it. So this is the basic of how you delete. But on the other side, when you're talking about a formative, you have three items. One of them, you said, you are measuring health. You want to know whether you are healthy, or whether your respondent is healthy anyway. So you ask him to answer on like a scale, for example. You said, okay, I have a balanced diet. I exercise regularly. I get sufficient sleep each night. All these are measuring health, but they are measuring different aspects of health. For example, balanced diet is different from exercise. Sleeping is different from sufficient sleeping is different from balanced diet. So if you have this kind of items, meaning that you have formative items. Is that understood? The next is okay. You look at this measure of satisfaction. There is a literature that measures satisfaction in two ways. Another example that you understand the difference between reflective and formative. In reflective measurement, you write, I appreciate this hotel. I appreciate this hotel. I am looking forward to staying in this hotel. I recommend this hotel to others. All these are looking at the same thing, hotel. You understand? So if you delete one item, it doesn't have any impact on the other. That is it. So, but in a formative model, look at this. The service is good. The personnel is friendly. The room are clean. If you look at it here, you will understand that uh, uh, service, personnel, and room are three different things. So they are entirely different. So in this case, if you are modeling it, meaning that you will model it as a formative construct. Okay, so I hope you understand. Okay, so I think we can stop here. If you have any question you ask, then we call it a day for now until 2:15, something like that, because we've taken some minutes out of that 1 hour. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, if you have any question, please do ask me, because in a few minutes we are calling it a day for now and uh, go for uh,
Doctor,
lunch. Okay, please, can you excuse me? Let me just
doctor,
answer. Please excuse me. Wait, I'm coming. Okay, so somebody is asking here. Okay. Mm, okay, there are a lot of them. Business history. Well, okay, this one is answered. Will protest para business history. Okay, this one is answered. I agree with you. Okay, okay. So, will pretest. Okay, this one. Okay. So I use Morgan table to determine. Okay, this one is answered already. Okay. Missing value analysis should be done in this stage or during preparation and data screening. See, you do it. This one is you do it before you go for your data for your analysis. Okay, if you like, if you want to make it that uh, you want to your software to recognize that this column is a missing, then you can do it in the data you now represent. Mostly people are writing 99, and in the PLS analysis they will write 99 as a missing data. So the software will now understand it as a missing data, so it will not treat it as a part of the data. But sometimes people are saying this is not should not be. You use other a test before you bring it into PLS SEM. So should we use the response rate with non-probability? Okay, this one is also the same. Can we speak a bit louder? Okay, yeah, okay. So I think maybe I am doing it. Sorry. Okay, so somebody is asking, for reflectively measured model, is there a limit to number of items that can be listed in order to alter the construct? Easy, if you have 15 items, a construct reflectively Can we delete and still retain the meaning of the construct? See, okay, we are coming to this one, but the idea is you cannot delete items more than 20%. Yeah, if you say you delete 15, 13 items out of 15, you are not measuring the construct any longer. So that's what literature says. According to here, I cannot remember which year, maybe it's 2017 or 18. They said you cannot delete items that more than 20% of your items. So in this case, if you have 10, you can only delete 2. So, but having having a 15, but deleting 13, you only have 2. Oh my God. All right. So that one is not like anyway. It shouldn't be like this one. Okay. For replicating, okay. So this one is answered. Okay. Can percentage be a basis to determine the items reflected? Yes. You can look at how the previous literature used them. If they say they are reflective, then you choose them as reflective. Sometimes it's very hard for you to understand. That's why there are some tests in PLS, as they call it, confirmatory tetra analysis. They use them to test whether the items is reflective or formative. So in this case, since they are carrying tests to find out whether they are reflective or formative, it's better if you follow what literature says. If it's measured using reflective formative items, if they are formative, please just leave them to formative. If you make them reflective, you don't have any contribution. Don't say that, okay, I have contribution if they use them reflective. Let me just use them. Let me just use them formative. And you now tell them that this is your contribution. I'm sorry. Okay. How about formative and reflective order? Uh, uh, should we consider it in the second stage? No, please. This one issue come after. We will answer this one tomorrow. You'll understand it because if we talk about it now, it will confuse some people here. So I suggest we leave it until tomorrow. Besides, can we see person reflective is one dimension of the construct? Reflective is one dimension of a construct. No, no. Dimension is some most of the time dimension is even formative. Yeah, there's a lot of argument that you cannot use a reflective, for example, something like that is a higher issue. But reflective is not one dimension. Reflective item, if you're talking about item is item. Okay, construct is construct. Construct with dimension is a dimensional construct, and it can be construct, not items. I think this one, if understood, I answered it correctly, inshallah. So, and there?
No, Dr. Salis, just wait.
Okay.
The difference between dimension and construct, you mentioned that dimension is a dimension and what again?
Okay. You see, a dimension, a construct is a construct. For example, you have performance. That one is a construct.
No. Still, we are dealing with items.
No, wait. I am getting to there. Okay. Then dimension of the construct is, for example, you have 3 dimensions of 3. I'm sorry. You have 3 dimensions of performance. For example, you have tax performance, you have research performance. All these are dimensions. And under these dimensions, you still have another things called items to measure the dimension. I don't know if you understand it.
Yes, if we can consider it as a group, main group and subgroups. I have, for example, if you remember, I have 2 dimensions in the ID and the independent variables. Under each dimension, I have 8 constructs, or I have 8 items.
Okay, so you mean that means if you understand that your items, okay, you have dimension, you have 2 dimensions. I think if I can understand, you have 2 dimensions, and each dimension has the first one has 4, the other one has 3. And
Yes, yes, this is what I meant. So now what is the difference between dimensions and construct? Because we can construct, we can consider them as all construct or as all dimension or what?
okay, okay. So meaning that how many you have one of your construct is has 5 dimensions, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that
Yes.
the one that has the bigger name of that
Okay.
is called construct.
Okay,
Then
that's
these
and
5
after
are
and under the construct there are dimensions.
dimensions, and they, mind you, this dimension can also be called construct. Okay.
Yeah, and in this case there is no difference between dimension and construct.
No. See, okay, if sorry, you are you are measuring the dimension, not the main construct. Right?
Yes.
So, yeah, so that means they're different. They
Okay.
are all construct, but they are sub-construct of the main construct.
Yeah, this is what I meant. The main construct of the subconstruct of the main construct. Exactly. If I can describe it as it is, they are subconstruct of the main constructs.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So
Okay.
I think that is it. And I read almost all of the questions I see in the chat box. I think we can call it a day from now. We can come back around 2:30 because yes, 2:30 we will gather here again. Please, thank you for listening. We will till we meet then. Dr. Rashid,
Yeah, ladies and
I'm back
gentlemen,
to you.
for your kind attention,
Inshallah.
patience,
We cannot hear you.
attentiveness.
Thank you very much, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, not that much.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention, for your patience, for your attentiveness. From now, we'll proceed on a break to allow us to refresh, to observe Salah, to have our lunch, and we hope to be back by 2, inshallah.
2:30.
Assalamu alaikum. 2:30.
Now it's almost 12:20 in Malaysia time, isn't
Yes.
it?
Yes, yes.
So in this case, and after 2 hours. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Very
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Bye-bye.
Please don't forget to send the recording.
Yeah.
At least there are يعني things that I want to hear it once again and record my notes on it, please.
Okay, no problem.
The recording will be sent to every participant after the program tomorrow, inshallah.
Inshallah. Shukran.